Now that we've taken a look at the still life that we're going to be painting today, let's go ahead and make our palette together. Got my titanium white, a viridian green, and my alizarin crimson. Okay, so we know we're going to work on creating probably 2 or 3, let's make it a 6-part mixture. And we'll have these 3 dark values for our cool side. And we'll use these 3 values on our warm side. So as always, let's start by mixing our black. Mixing water in because it's warm in my studio and the paints will dry really quickly. If you can't mix quite as quickly as I do, that's okay. I really don't expect you to be able to yet because you're just getting used to how to use the knife, palette knife. So that just means you'll have to mix again as things dry out, and that's still very good practice. Okay, now remember, we're going to use, let's get this out. Excellent. So we want, on our dark side, they're going to be cool. And this is leaning towards green. So it is cool already. That's great. Let's leave some of that. And I'm going to use this to create my 3 darker values. I'm going to pull just a bit of this aside. And pick up about an equal amount of white. Let's try it out. That might be too much. Yeah, I think that's too much. Let's try a little bit less. I might have gone too light already. Yeah, that's more like one of those. So we could call that our 3rd value. And then we'll make one in between these 2. There's a little spider. Come on, little guy. Let's go over here. Okay. All right, how do those 3 values look? They look pretty good to me. Let's see. So that's good. We've got kind of mid-tone to our darkest dark. Now let's mix our 3 light, warm colors. So I'm going to use more red this time, maybe only half the amount of green I usually use. We're still going for gray. It shouldn't be red. It shouldn't be green. We want to stay in that range where they appear gray. They just have this slight warm hue. And that looks pretty good. That's almost like a kind of a purple. So I'm going to move this out of the way because we want the space to create our value scale right here. Okay, let's pull a tiny bit in there with a good amount of white. See what we get. So this is a little tricky to create an even value scale, changing the hue. It's really good practice for us. This may be too light. I kind of think it is, so we may need to adjust a little bit more. We'll see. Okay, what do we think? You know, I feel like these values aren't quite right. In fact, both of these can go a little darker. Let's pull some of this, put it in here. And a little bit of that black can go in here. Let's go a little bit more. It's not quite dark enough. You want to make sure it's darker than that. It can be hard to see. A great trick to use is you can look at it through your camera, but turn on your black and white filter. That can help you see the value changes a little better. That looks good. Now I think this could go a little bit lighter. Just take a tiny bit of that. That's pretty good. Yeah, we're getting there. Kind of want to move some of this down here. Spread it out a little bit. Let's lighten this one a little. Yeah. That looks pretty good. I'm going to get some more white on here because I think think we need just a, we need to lighten these two just a little bit. Be sure you clean your palette knife when you're moving between colors. You really don't want the warm color to get into your cool mixture. And there, okay. That looks really good to me. Okay. As usual, I'm going to push these into little mountains so they don't dry out as quickly. Wipe your palette knife in between. And we'll see if we can get through the whole painting before these dry. I mentioned in the last video that I might do time lapse. I don't think I will this time. I'll do that in the future, but since this is still so new for us, I think I'll just do it in real time so that you can follow along with me. Okay, and you have our image that we're working from. We're going to branch out a little bit, and I'm going to grab this is a number 3 round. You can see it, number 3 round. So I'm going to use this to sketch sort of the outline of our painting first.